was never on my level, your shit where my dick is. I'm located in different angles in Florida, Kissimmee. Elevated my real estate, building lofts in my kitchen. Whipping chicken, smoking a spliffy, I spark till I'm dizzy. I'm too busy making these shots, no cross when I dribble. I got bitches on top of bitches, I'm already famous. If you diss me, then it's an issue. I'm parked by your neighbors. I will never change who I am or my thoughts on religion. Simple tatted up on my body with scars on my vision. Dealt with different women, we kicked it a minute, no feelings. My decisions is not reflected on bitches that's tricking. It's contingent in palm business and flipping my digits.
Yo, what's up, man? What does it do, people? Man, shout out to everybody in the YouTube world, man. We about to get into this little Offset, little Quavo, little incident. You know, he getting ready to tell why he's grown up and became a man and went solo. So we gonna get into this reaction. We're gonna listen to hear what he got to say, man. He said some real good stuff, man. I think people need to hear it, and we're gonna talk about it. Let's go.
Young men need
That's the first job
to
of
really,
as a
really be
coach.
grabbed up and held, and but
Thanks.
also giving confidence to one another. Like,
Held
there's not a
accountable.
lot of us doing that out there.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I
a
mean? So
fact.
I always take my hat off to
Man, shout
to
out
Prime for
Prime,
that.
man.
That's
Sure.
a fact.
Glad the brother's healthy too, man.
Yeah. But
Can't wait to see
we
Glock.
have a special, segment, stand along that floor, special segment on this show
Yep.
called the 7 p.m. moment. Like this is the moment where, it refers to that point in your life where you got to make a decision. Like, I'm going to go left or I'm going to go right.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And this decision is going to be, very influential and very powerful and pivotal in whatever happens. Like, what was your 7 p.m. moment?
We're going solo.
Mm-hmm.
That was the big fork. Cause it was like, I just wanted more for myself as an artist.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I wasn't never on no, like, I feel like I'm better or bigger than none of that. It's just I wanted more for myself as an artist, and I felt like the business of that corporation, of that situation, wasn't allowing it to be a better situation.
Mm-hmm.
Business-wise, and like I got kids and shit, like, and a lot of cats be trying to get their shit done when it's too late.
Right.
You feel me? Like the business, and it wasn't looking like it was moving. So it was really on some. I didn't want to do that shit though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Speaking truthfully, like I never said this too publicly. I didn't want to do that shit, but like it was the best thing for me to do as a man,
Mm-hmm.
and I could see the forecast that I could do it. You know what I mean? And it'll work, and it won't be a failure. You feel what I'm saying? Once I seen that forecast, and it was like,
I could respect that. I could respect that. Shout out to Carmelo Anthony. Shout out to Offset. I don't know who the other guy is, but shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? But I could respect that, man. That's what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about growth. It's not necessarily about, like he said, being bigger and better than somebody. Even though you have some people that feel that way, and we know some people, some groups that have failed in the past because you had a few members that felt that way. But there's nothing wrong with wanting better for yourself. I get that. You know what I'm saying? And plus, it's three of y'all. So when the other one is gone, it's kind of like what happened with Left Eye and TLC. It's like when that other motion is gone, it starts to, the momentum for that group thing starts to slow down because it's hard to find a replacement for that other third person. So, man, I get it. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep going.
trying to get my business together. I'm trying to be more of an artist. I want to be more in control of my creativity too, of how I present myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm getting older. You feel what I'm saying? The group shit is the best shit that ever happened to me. But like, come a time we getting older, bro. You know what I mean? We getting older, so like, three different houses, we get 3 different jets when we traveling. It's just like grown men got our own stuff to do. And in my mind, creatively, I was on some trying to take my shit next level and rebrand it where it's mine.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was hard. It was a real hard decision to do, but it was just something I knew, and I could see the future of like, this is what I need to do.
I mean, I feel like as a fan that people watch that, creative process sort of evolve itself in the public eye.
And I also feel too as well. And I I'm not gonna say I've been a huge fan of Migos. I like that song Bad and Bougie. Shout out to them for that. You know what I'm saying? That was a decent track. Everything else I really wasn't a fan of, but when Offset came out with that song, Drip Go with the Ric Flair shit, you know what I'm saying? Man, I ain't gonna lie. I like that song, you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with wanting better for yourself, man. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to grow. Once you get to a certain point in your life, you get to a certain age, you know, you're supposed to put down childish things, you know what I'm saying, and start doing, you know, grown man stuff when you're grown, you know. So there's nothing wrong with wanting things for yourself and wanting better for yourself and want to be more creative and want to, you know, take your career to a higher level. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. So shout out to him.
The Migos is the biggest group in hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like unstoppable, you
Yeah.
know? And I think right now fans are probably more, you know, privy to how the business works, especially, you know, these whole Drake lawsuits and all the time. Like people at least are getting like a clear eye view into just how messed up the music industry can be,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to
For sure.
a group. When you gotta, you know, it's messed up for a solo artist. Now think of splitting that between 3 people
Yeah.
who got their own lives, all grown men and stuff like that. Business wise, I can understand that, but creatively, you said something that you said, you know, you never said publicly that, you know, I wouldn't have broken up the group. I wouldn't have left the group if it was up to you.
Yeah.
But if the business was right, like you would still have wanted the Migos just
For
stay
sure.
together and still have
Because I was
opportunities.
still able to balance that and do solo hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it ain't like, you know, they always paid these groups, you know, big dollars. You know what I'm saying? You know, they have a budget and then you got to split it up amongst these, you know. So that's why if you pay attention to RZA, shout out to RZA from Wu-Tang, if you pay attention to how he set up his artists to be successful, to be who they are like they are today, because back then it was worse than it is in the 2000s. You know, they really wasn't getting nothing but pennies back then. So you know, he was smart enough to set them up with different solo deals to different, you know, and their careers, most of them, not all, but most of them, you know, took off. You know what I'm saying? Look at Meth, still doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? If ODB was alive, he'd probably still be doing his thing too. So yeah, I get it. Yeah, you know, you got to look at, yeah, I got bills now. I got a different lifestyle. I bought a bigger house. I got a new car. I got more responsibilities, and I have kids. And I'm with the baddest chick in the game at the time. So yeah, I get it. You know.
You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
it was working the best of both worlds, but like then RP my brother, man, we took the biggest loss fight ever, and like people don't understand like personally losing a bro. Like niggas don't want to continue that. Like it ain't the same juice, bro. It ain't the even if it could be bigger than ever just because of that happened. A lot of niggas ride wave off of bad situations. And like, cause it'll be bigger after, cause you know how people fuck with people. They give people flowers when bad shit happen, or when shit like that. But with us, it was like that shit. Like, it's deeper. It's like your brother sleeping in one house with your mama and your daddy, and goddamn now y'all just wake up and it ain't the brother in the house no more.
Right.
Yeah.
It don't feel the same. So
Not
it didn't
the same
even
vibe. Yeah.
So once that happened, and it was definitely like, oh shit, like that was another 7 p.m. moment, like, cause.
I can imagine.
I was about to drop an album and shit, and that shit happened, and then I just fucked the album. I ain't want to do music. I ain't want to do shit. I had to say shit, and I ain't want to talk about shit. And I still don't be wanting to talk about shit, because that shit don't be for the people, but like, that was a fork in the road too.
Yeah.
So it was like back to back, boom, boom, boom. But I always had adversity. My mama always told me, like, but you always did some shit always happened for you to get to another level. Like, so just look at it like positively like that. Like maybe this the storm before the sunshine. Like,
well, you know, it's a testament to, you know, your vision though.
Yeah. He definitely had a vision. You know, most people that get in these groups, they do have some kind of other vision. It's some goal, you know, and the goal is not always to stay together forever. You know, eventually at some point you're gonna break off. But it don't necessarily have to be over, you know, money or a fight or dispute. You know, it could just be like he said, it's just time to, you know, move on. And then when they lost Takeoff, you know, that really put a, you know, a dent in everything. So there would be no, you know, reunions and, you know, anything of that nature, because, you know, it was a 3-man group. So, you know, I get where he's coming from, you know. And like Anthony said, man, you got, you know, he had a vision. He saw himself, you know, something greater than, you know, not better than the group, but a little bit more, you know, on an upscale level, you know, than the group. Because you're gonna only go so far. You know what I'm saying? You're only gonna go so far. in the group, and then eventually, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna break off, you know what I'm saying, because it's gonna be time to, like I said, more money, more expenses, more bills, more opportunities, you know what I'm saying, more good things will come, more bad things will come. So yeah, you know, it's best to, you know, sometimes it's best to get to that point to where y'all want to be, you know what I'm saying, make the music, you know what I'm saying, you stay in the studio, make all that music, you know, do like a 3-6 Mafia type thing, make a lot of music, man. So, and push, push, push. So, you know, you'd be a Juicy J and a, you know, whoever else, Country Black, Paul, and, you know what I'm saying, rest in peace, Gangsta Boo. You'll be able to, you know what I'm saying, and probably excel way past them. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all got all this music, everybody know y'all, and then here y'all come with y'all solo thing, y'all sticking with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's supposed to be about. So, but when it's time to, you know, y'all got enough music, y'all ain't really got to come together all the time. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's just something hot or a topic that just something like bam, and you like, shit, we got to get on that. You know what I'm saying? Or we got to get on that remix, you know. But if you making, you in the studio, you dropping albums like the Old No Limit or the 3-6 Mafia, like I said, and you got your solo thing going, man, you, or like the Wu-Tang Clan did, same thing, you know. When it's time to come together, you come together, but you ain't always got to come together. It ain't always about hate. It ain't always about beef. It ain't always about, oh, I don't like him, or he did this, did that. You know what I'm saying? It's just time to make a move, you know, and do something different. So I understand them, you know. Do y'all, you know, what y'all think about it?
Your creativity, you know what I mean? Like the way that you like to curate, the way that you able to, you know, see the world and travel and be in Paris and be in all of these other countries,
Yeah.
and really understanding the industry and really understanding what you could bring to the industry, right? Creatively. So once you start traveling abroad, experiencing all of that shit over there, you coming back here with a totally different mindset. No, it's you know, those was dark times, like trying to figure that out and trying to
Super
make
dark.
that happen. But it's a testament to you being able to see who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also
That's what the album,
they say bet on yourself. You know what I mean?
that's what the
But
album
like,
about too. Like that's why I named it my first name, cause like it's about me, who I am, the different me's that got me to where I'm at right now. Like looking in the mirror, like being straightforward with whatever happened, how it happened, it happens, and
Yeah.
just to keep pushing.
You know, I feel like, you know, I want
What I
to talk
just
about the
said.
7 p.m. moment a little bit
What I
more
just
because,
said.
you know, what you went through was some real trauma, man. Like, and a lot of, you know, black men who listen to your music, who listen to Migos, who probably growing up, like it was probably traumatic for them too, you know? And not a lot of them have a creative outlet like music to like get it out, to at
Right.
least, you know, help process losing a real, you know, brother, not just, you know, fellow musician, but like actual family.
Yeah.
You know, not to get too personal, but like as far as like handling that, what's been, you know,
I ain't really found nothing that could to handle it, you know.
yeah,
But you know, I got kids, I got sons looking up to me, like, you know what I'm saying? So I use it as a pushing element, but it ain't nothing that cured it or like, you know what I'm saying? That should be hard every day, my boy. You have a great day, you might go 3 weeks, 4 for 2 months. It gonna hit your ass because it's like you missing something, you know. That you goddamn that all none of this shit could be. We wouldn't be sitting right here,
yeah,
without that piece. You know what I mean? So, but you keep pushing on.
yeah.
We ain't on no sad timing, but it is personal and shit. Like it fuck with it. It's hard to deal with shit. But you signed up too, so it's like the camera's in front of you. So
no, I hear you, man.
what you gonna do? You gotta keep pushing.
I mean, I'm saying there's a lot of brothers that look up to y'all and probably go through something similar and probably deal with it in a similar way. Not to say anything's right or wrong, but you know, like you're not alone. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
like
for
going
sure.
through that type of stuff.
You know, I've been in a group and I've lost a group member before, man. We wasn't relatives, so I wouldn't know what that felt like. You know what I'm saying? Or feel like, but I've lost a homie that was in the group with us, man, and yeah, it kind of hurt, man. You know, the intro that y'all listened to, yeah, that's my homie, man, and you know, man, he had potential, man, and you know, rest in peace to him, man, my man Law. But anyway, man, yeah, like I said, man, it's when that third person is gone, man, it's kind of like it's over. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got somebody that it was a fourth, or some kind of super replacement, then yeah, but you ain't really got that. So you know, when it's like that, man, and you lose that person, man, there's no fixing it, but you can heal from it. You know what I'm saying? You can eventually heal from it. Um, my advice to Offset is to just when it's time, man, you and Quavo, y'all link up, man, and when it's time to link up, man, y'all don't always have to see eye to eye, y'all don't always have to agree with each other, but man, link up, man, and try to put some other people on, man. Try to, I ain't gonna say make another Migos, but get some kids together, some shorties or somebody, man, and y'all, try to, keep it going, make another 3-man band group, you know what I'm saying? Sure, y'all can do it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying relive y'all glory days or anybody else days, but I mean, you can have, new days, new glory days, new stories, new things to talk about, new adventures, you know. Don't completely give up on the group, you know what I'm saying? Or what was the group, you know what I'm saying? Keep the group, alive by, doing certain things, man. Do something that Take Off will want y'all to do. You know what I'm saying? And I could see y'all managing other artists and, breaking, in industries and in places where, some people can't get into. So y'all should continue that, man. Like I said, far as him being a man, yeah, you got to stand up and be a man. You got to make a decision on what you're going to do with your life. You can't forever, keep playing around and playing around, especially when you got a family, especially when you got a woman, especially when you have a woman like Cardi B, because we already know them Spanish women is just as bad as black women when it comes to a man being a man. So yeah, you have to make certain decisions in your life that's gonna be best for you. It ain't always personal, you know what I'm saying? That's why I tell people it's not always personal. Ain't nobody gotta diss nobody. It's business most of the time. So with that being said, man, y'all know what to do, man. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. Man, leave a comment, man. Tell me what y'all think about how Offset is handling his loss, with Takeoff, and where he stands, on his, where he stands with the group, far as new music and everything, and what you guys think about him being a solo artist. Is he great as a solo artist? Does he need work? Do they need to, like I said, find somebody else they can manage and move on? Well, I'm pretty sure he's moved on with his life, but far as musically, what do y'all think he should do? Y'all leave it in the comments, man. That's basically what I want to know, man. I was just shocked to hear, his response, and it was pretty mature to me. And it sounded like there's no beef between them two, or whatever the beef was. I'm pretty sure they didn't gotten over it. But if y'all want to continue the rest, man, y'all go ahead, man, and continue the rest. But let this be a lesson to all you all, man. It's okay to, walk away sometimes and do what's best for you. It don't have to necessarily be about some beef. But I know people, around you will make it about some beef, so that's why you got to watch too who you carry around you, who you be with, you know what I'm saying? Because they will make it about some beef. They will start getting in your ear or getting into the entourage ear, and then you be fighting, other crews, and everybody be, warring and won't nobody be friends no more. And then next thing you know, somebody lose a life, and then it's on for life. That's how the culture, has been, the ball's been bouncing in the culture for a very long time. So we don't want that, man. We want to try to avoid those things at all costs, man. So, man, I love you guys, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Like, share, and subscribe, man. Do what you do, man. I'm out. Peace.